Behind the stunning Hamburg town hall, you can find a beautiful fountain depicting the Greek goddess of hygiene, Hygieia. But the story behind it is absolutely wild and very tragic. It commemorates a cholera epidemic that started in Asia in the 1880s and then spread across the world. It killed 200,000 people in Russia, it hit ports in Italy, Spain and France, and the disease reached Hamburg in 1892. Conditions here were perfect for disaster. You see, at this time, the 1890s, a lot of people in Hamburg lived in very cramped, crowded and unhygienic, slums, essentially. Not only that, but Hamburg has a port, so there's kind of sailors coming and going, but more importantly, it's the port that brings people over to the New World. People from all across Europe, mostly Eastern Europe, where the disease already was, were coming into Hamburg to go and start their new lives in the USA. But it was unseasonably warm weather that really got them. At this time, the people of Hamburg got their drinking water from the Elbe River, a tidal river. Now, of course, they took their drinking water upstream, so it was nice and clean. But because of the warm, dry weather, the regular water levels were low, and this meant that wastewater from the city flooded back upstream, meaning if anybody had cholera, well, now it's in your drinking water. And so it was that in the middle of August 1892, the first 4 deaths from cholera were recorded here in Hamburg. Now, at this point, the authorities knew what was about to happen. They'd seen it happen in other places in the world, but this is the moment that it goes from problem to catastrophe. In order to stop the outbreak, they'd have to tell everybody about cholera, and then no ships would dock at the port. Hamburg would essentially lose out on its main source of income, and so the leaders of this city chose profit over its people. They kept it a secret, and well, the disease spread. In the week following those first 4 deaths, a further 1,000 cholera cases were reported, and about half of the people that caught the disease at that time would die. At this point, it was clear that the city had lost control. Now, Hamburg at this point was no longer just an independent city. In fact, it was part of the brand spanking new Empire of Germany, founded in 1871. And so it was that the imperial government, based in Berlin, took control. The Prussians sent up their man, Robert Koch, famed bacteriologist, the guy who had discovered how tuberculosis spreads. He took a look at Hamburg's slums and said, well, this is the problem. These have got to go. He also went on to help them build a new sanitation system, but, well, too little too late. 8,000 people died of cholera here in Hamburg in 1892 over less than 3 months. And so in the wake of the pandemic, this fountain was built to, I don't know, commemorate the victims or so, but it has a second secret function. It's not so obvious from the outside. If you look at those vents at the bottom, they actually draw cold air in and cool down the town hall over here.